Snark Squad. Babes, it is Wednesday evening. And babes, we are emotional.
Oh, emotional.
Like, is it the wine? Is it the vibes? Is it this show?
I mean, it's definitely the show.
Because babes, we are feeling things.
We are fully, entirely, like, completely compromised. My cynical, Bravo-hardened exterior has literally melted into a puddle on the floor.
Right.
I'm unwell. I do not even know how to process television that isn't actively toxic.
Exactly. And we need to give a shout out immediately. Kim, babes, you slid into the DMs. You told us to watch this.
Thank God for Kim.
And babes, we are thanking you because this is special.
Truly, Kim, you are like the MVP of the week because normally, I mean, you guys know us. You know what we consume. We're usually out here just swimming in the absolute toxicity of standard reality TV.
Oh, completely drowning in it.
Right. Like, we are breaking down cloud chasers. We are analyzing fake tears, diagnosing narcissism on a weekly basis. But this show, it breaks the mold entirely.
Literally. This is one of the only shows where it feels like, real people.
Yeah.
Real emotions. Not clout chasers, not influencers. Just people.
Just people living their lives.
And babes, we fucking love it.
It actually gives us hope.
It does.
Which is rare.
So rare, because normally we are watching absolute chaos.
Yeah, we're watching Love is Blind, where people literally lie straight to the camera in those little pods just so they can get a free vacation to Mexico.
And 1 million Instagram followers.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But this is pure.
So pure. Okay, drink check.
Well, we need it. To handle this level of sincerity, we need the wine.
Wine is on deck. And babes, we are just living. We are pouring a heavy, heavy glass of Pinot Noir tonight because we have to talk about love.
Capital L love.
Yes. So before we get into the actual recap, we need to talk about love stories. I want to know your favorite love story of all time.
Oh, wow. We are starting with the heavy hitters before we even touch the TV show.
We have to.
Okay. Let me just, brace myself for whatever hopelessly romantic thing you were about to say.
I am who I am. For me, hands down, no competition, it is Titanic.
Oh, my God. I knew you were going to say that. You are such a tragic romantic. So predictable.
How could I not be? Explain to me a more iconic romance. You have the absolute sheer devastating romance of it all.
Devastating is the word.
Right. The class divide, the sneaking around, the spinning in the lower decks, and then the emotional damage.
The door scene.
The emotional damage of the door scene, it hits every single time. Jack dying so Rose can live.
Ugh.
It is the pinnacle of romance. The tragedy is what actually cements it in eternity.
See, this is where we differ. Because I look at Titanic, and analytically I'm like, that is a trauma bond that lasted 3 days.
No.
Yes. They knew each other for 72 hours,
Yeah.
and half of that was just running from frozen water in Billy Zane's wake.
Wait, hold up. I have to stop you right there. That is not a trauma bond.
I mean...
No, a trauma bond is a specific psychological cycle of abuse and reinforcement. It's when an abuser breaks you down and then offers you comfort, creating an addictive cycle. Jack and Rose just bonded during a highly traumatic event.
Okay, fine.
Do not misuse therapy speak on my show, my cynical friend.
Okay. I stand corrected on the clinical terminology. I will take the L on trauma bond. But my point remains.
Which is?
It was a hyper-accelerated attachment based on sheer panic and adrenaline. It is not sustainable.
You are so cynical.
Yeah.
It is beautiful because it was fleeting. What is yours, then? What is your pinnacle of a love story?
Gomez and Morticia Addams.
Wait, what? Are you serious right now?
Hear me out. They are obsessed with each other. It is not a tragedy. They aren't freezing in the ocean. They are just two weirdos living in a giant mansion raising their unhinged children.
I mean, true.
And Gomez literally kisses up her arm every time she speaks French. That is consistency. That is an iconic love story.
Okay, I see the vision.
Right. It is not about overcoming these massive, catastrophic, life-ending odds. It is about finding the exact person whose specific brand of crazy matches your specific brand of crazy.
Oh.
And then just living in it comfortably for decades.
Okay, I actually love that. You pitched that really well. But it brings up a huge question. The spiral we had before we hit record.
Oh, boy.
Do we believe in soulmates?
The big question. The ultimate Wednesday night wine spiral.
I am a helpless romantic, obviously. I have to say yes.
Naturally.
I absolutely believe in fate. I believe that there is a red string of fate tying you to your person, and no matter what happens, no matter what detours you take, you are going to find them.
The red string.
Yes. The universe just works it out. The geometry of the universe bends to bring two souls together.
And see, I want to believe that. I really, really do. But my brain just will not let me be that delusional.
Hey.
I mean it lovingly. I think it is about timing. Timing and proximity.
Boring.
No, it's realistic. You meet someone you are highly compatible with at the exact moment you are both emotionally mature enough to settle down, and boom, you slap the label of soulmate on it to make it sound magical.
I hate this theory.
But think about it. If you had met that exact same person 5 years earlier, when you were still figuring out your career and dealing with your own baggage, you would have completely ignored each other, or worse, ruined it. Fate is just a romantic word for right place, right time, right emotional bandwidth.
You are breaking my heart right now. Snark Squad, I need you all in the DMs validating me. Soulmates are real.
Delusion is a powerful thing, babes.
Stop it. Anyway, before we get too deep into our own existential dread, we need to do a snack check.
Yes, we do. Because we are eating pumpkin scones.
Yes. In spring.
Yes, we are.
And babes, they were amazing.
I do not even care about the seasonal chaos. Eating a heavily spiced autumn baked good in the middle of April. It feels a little illegal.
A little bit.
But the flavor is unparalleled. The crumbly texture, the thick layer of cream cheese frosting. I am not apologizing. It is pure comfort.
Absolutely not. We needed the comfort food after the workday we had.
Oh, definitely.
Which brings us to our rose and thorn from the workday. If you are new here, we are both dentists in our day jobs, which means we deal with absolute, unhinged patient chaos all day long.
Literally all day.
You go first.
Okay, my rose is simple. The schedule actually ran on time. A literal miracle in the dental field.
Unheard of.
But my thorn, oh my God. I had a patient who was going through a very, very messy divorce.
Oh, no.
And they decided that the exact moment I had the high-speed suction tool and a mirror, witched all the way back in their molars, was the perfect time to vent about their ex-husband's hidden financial assets.
Stop.
They are literally gurgling out alimony complaints and offshore bank accounts, and I'm just nodding, trying not to accidentally drill their tongue while they cry about a boat.
That is so funny. It is like we become accidental therapists, but with incredibly dangerous, sharp objects in our hands.
Exactly. What was yours?
Okay, my rose. A patient brought me an iced oat milk latte, a literal angel sent from above.
Oh, that's top tier.
My thorn. A child, a literal 7-year-old child, looked me dead in the eyes and told me my blue scrubs made me look like a giant blueberry.
Oh my God.
No hesitation, just complete deadpan character assassination.
Kids are ruthless. They will completely dismantle your self-esteem in 2 seconds flat.
They really will. But you know what doesn't destroy my self-esteem?
What?
What actually restores my faith in humanity? Season 4 of this incredible, beautiful show. Let us pivot from our messy workday into the pure joy that is the Season 4 premiere of Love on the Spectrum US.
Yes. We are officially doing the recap.
Yeah.
And honestly, we are going to be here for a while.
Oh, absolutely.
Because there's so much psychology, so much nuance, and so much beauty to unpack here.
So we have the return of Season 4, and right off the bat, it is this beautiful mix of old and new faces.
Mm-hmm.
We have got fan favorites returning. Danny Bowman is back, Tanner Smith, Perry Kim, and of course, our royal couple, Abby and David.
Oh, wait, can we talk about the absolute shade of Netflix right now?
Oh, the gatekeeping?
Yes, they're totally gatekeeping the best couples. We see their names, we see glimpses. We know they're coming back, but we do not know in what capacity.
Right.
Are they main cast? Are they just popping in for a cameo? Netflix is holding Abby and David hostage to make sure we keep watching.
And you know what? It
Yeah.
is working.
It is a brilliant, manipulative producing tactic.
It is entirely working. I will wait as long as it takes to see Lions in Africa with Abby and David again.
It's insane.
But we do not even need them right away because the universe, or the casting directors, gave us a brand new star.
Oh, yes.
We have to talk about the absolute legend that is Logan.
The Legend of Logan. 25 years old,
Yeah.
from Las Vegas, Nevada. And instantly, from the first second he is on screen, he is iconic television.
Instantly. He is sitting in his room, and it is just a haven of joy. He has Thomas the Train everything. He has got this mermaid that his grandma gave him.
Yeah.
And the way he talks about her passing away, he just says, my grandma was around. I lost it. It is so blunt, so matter of fact.
Yeah, the brutal honesty that I crave. None of this flowery reality TV nonsense where people perform their grief through the camera.
Yeah.
He is just like, yeah, she is not around anymore. Let's move on.
So real.
But we really need to dig into his special interests because they are fascinating. He is obsessed with trains, specifically train crashes.
Yes.
He doesn't want to watch them safely arrive at the station. He wants the drama. and he specifically categorizes them into trains with faces and trains without faces.
Which makes perfect sense if you think about how we process empathy.
Explain that.
Well, if it has a face, it is a character, it has a soul, it has intent. If it doesn't have a face, it is just machinery.
That makes total sense.
And then he loves Hannah Montana. His favorite love story is Jake telling Miley how he feels.
A classic.
But the thing that absolutely sent me spiraling was his physical preference for a partner. He tells the producers he wants a girl with curly straight hair.
I have spent the last 48 hours analytically trying to decipher the physical mechanics of what curly straight hair means.
Right.
Is it a blowout with severely flipped ends? Is it a perm that has grown out for 6 months?
Maybe.
Is it just wavy? Or does he literally mean half the head is flat iron bone straight and the other half is a Shirley Temple ringlet?
I think he just means voluminous, like silky but with movement, like a 90s Cindy Crawford supermodel blowout.
Okay, that I can picture.
But whatever it is, I hope he finds it. But before he finds a real girl with curly straight hair, we have to address the elephant in the room, the imaginary girlfriend.
Tifa.
Tifa. Now listen, I know a lot of viewers might watch that and think it is unusual for a 25-year-old man.
Sure.
But I think it is incredibly sweet. And more importantly, let's explain why this happens.
Yes, let's break this down.
It is actually really common for neurodivergent individuals to have a comfort character, a parasocial relationship, or an imaginary partner. It acts as a developmental stepping stone.
Right.
Because when you are on the spectrum, the real world is incredibly unpredictable. Humans give mixed signals, they have confusing body language, they require massive amounts of sensory processing.
Exactly. An imaginary girlfriend is a completely controlled environment.
Yes. It is a safe sandbox to practice feelings. He can practice feeling romantic, feeling protective, feeling companionship, without the terrifying unpredictability of a real human being who might reject him or overload his nervous system.
That makes total psychological sense. It is like an emotional training wheel.
Exactly.
Sure, it is sweet, but my snarky, cynical Bravo brain immediately goes to the logistics of the fallout.
Oh my God, you would.
Tifa sounds thick, first of all.
Yeah.
That name just has presence, like she takes up space in a room.
I'm screaming.
But secondly, what is the dramatic fallout of breaking up with an imaginary girlfriend when you finally meet a real person?
I don't know.
Like, do you have to sit her down in the living room? Do you have to say, it is not you, it is me? I want the tea on the Tifa breakup.
You are terrible. But his family's reaction to it is what grounds the whole thing. His mom and his twin sister, Neith, are sitting there with him while he talks about Tifa.
Yeah.
And Neith is the ultimate supportive baddie. She has sibling goals.
Neith is incredible. She clearly has his back 100%, but she's also not coddling him. She is treating him like a 25-year-old man who is ready to take the next step.
Which brings us to the suit shopping scene.
Oh my God. The suit. This scene is cinema. It is art.
It really is. So they go to this tailor for his first date, and Logan is trying on these very standard, very boring, very safe gray and black suits.
Oh, need corporate.
He looks nice, but he looks uncomfortable. And then, out of nowhere, another customer walks out of the dressing room wearing a bright blue velvet jacket.
It is not just blue. It is electric, royal, statement-making, Willy Wonka-level blue velvet.
Yes. And Logan stops dead in his tracks. He looks at this man, and with pure, unadulterated awe, he says, I want to be like that guy.
I want to be like that guy.
Let's really unpack the phenomenology of this moment, because if this were any other Bravo show, if Jax Taylor or Tom Sandoval saw someone in a jacket they wanted, it would be a competition.
Oh, absolutely. It would be toxic masculinity.
They would try to assert dominance or make fun of the guy, but Logan, there was no jealousy. There was just pure appreciation for someone else's confidence.
Completely pure.
Neith says, oh, maybe you can try it on when he is done. And Logan, being the absolute gentleman he is, refuses to compete for it. He is like, no, it is his style. I will let him have it. I do not want to steal his shine.
It was a masterclass in secure masculinity. But
It's
then
the
comedic edit. The producers deserve an Emmy for this alone.
Yes, they do.
Because it cuts to the very next scene. And what is Logan wearing?
The blue velvet jacket.
The blue velvet jacket.
Decked out. The blue velvet jacket, a crisp bow tie, and sunglasses inside the store. Looking incredibly fly.
He secured the jacket.
He really did. The confidence radiated off him. He physically stood taller.
It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But my personal favorite Logan moment wasn't even the suit. It was his interaction with the producer, Cian, during his solo interview.
Oh my God, yeah.
So the producer, Cian, is asking him a question from behind the camera, and Logan calls him Sean.
Naturally.
And Cian corrects him very politely. It's Cian. And Logan just looks at him totally unfazed and says, I know of Sean.
I die.
And just continues on with his sentence, I said what I needed to say. The absolute power move of someone correcting your name and you just rejecting their correction to their face.
It is not even malicious.
Yeah.
He just decided, your name is Sean today. My brain has categorized you as Sean, and we are moving forward.
Exactly.
And then later, when Cian is trying to get some B-roll footage, he asks Logan, hey, what are you doing? Trying to prompt him to explain his activity for the audience. Logan takes it completely literally. He doesn't say, I'm heading out on a date or I'm looking for love. He looks at the producer, looks at the doorknob, and says, I am opening the door for you.
The literal brilliance of it, because he was opening the door. Why give a philosophical produced reality TV answer when the physical reality of the moment is right there?
Right.
I love these people. They have absolutely no filter. They do not play the producer's game, and it is a masterclass in direct communication.
Which perfectly transitions us to the main event, Logan's date with Hailey. Hailey is 30, she works in food service, and she is so incredibly sweet. They meet up, and immediately they bond over cheesecake.
Which is a solid, unimpeachable foundation for any romantic relationship, let us be honest.
Exactly. And the second Hailey goes to the bathroom, the producer asks Logan how it is going, and Logan literally says, I love her.
Okay, we need to do an analytical breakdown here. Because obviously after 45 minutes of eating cheesecake, he doesn't actually love her yet in the profound life partner sense.
Right.
But we need to explain why he says that.
Yeah.
He loves the feeling of what is happening.
Yes.
Think about the cognitive leap he is making. He is moving from the safe, controlled environment of Tifa, the imaginary girlfriend, into the real world. And he is suddenly experiencing this massive rush of validation, of romantic connection, of being seen and accepted by a real woman who isn't his family member.
It's huge for him.
His brain is just firing off dopamine at an unprecedented rate, and he translates that neurochemical rush directly into the words, I love her. It is impulsive, but it is completely real to him in that exact second.
It is so real to him. He is feeling the magic of connection for the very first time. And I have to include the spoilers here because the aftermath of this date is just too important to the overarching narrative of the show.
We have to.
They go on a second date. He officially breaks up with Tifa. They share their first kiss. They make it official. They meet the parents.
It escalates so quickly, it is 0 to 60.
But then Hailey eventually friend zones him.
Yeah.
And this is where I actually started crying. Because we are so conditioned by modern dating culture, and especially by reality TV, to expect that rejection leads to a massive toxic fallout.
Oh, usually it's a smear campaign. Screaming matches, angry text.
Exactly. But Logan handles it with such incredible grace. He is 26 now. And when they do the follow-up interview, he says he is just so happy he got to experience making out because he used to be so jealous of kids doing it in high school.
That is the part that stops you in your tracks. Let us really look at the mechanism of what he did there. He did not view the relationship ending as a failure. He viewed the experience of a first kiss as a profound, life-altering victory.
It's so beautiful.
He shifted the entire paradigm of modern dating. We are all out here getting bitter over unreturned texts. We are agonizing over situationships. And Logan is just expressing pure, unfiltered gratitude that he got to participate in the universal human experience of romance.
Exactly. It is a lesson. We need to take notes. His emotional regulation in the face of heartbreak is better than 90% of adults walking around right now.
Seriously. Speaking of taking notes on healthy relationships, this idea of creating a safe emotional space perfectly bridges us to our established couple.
Madison and Tyler.
Yes.
I love them so much. Madison is 27. She has OCD and autism, and she was a massive Care Bear collector.
Huge collector.
And the dedication this girl has, she literally packed up her entire life and moved to Plant City, Florida, moving in with her brother, just so she could be 5 minutes away from Tyler instead of an hour.
That is immense commitment. But also, shout out to her brother for facilitating that. The familial support on this show is consistently staggering.
It really is.
You do not see parents and siblings rallying around cast members like this on other shows.
No. Usually the families are trying to get their own spin-offs, so they are celebrating their first Valentine's Day together since she moved. And Tyler reveals this heartbreaking detail during his interview. He has a history of getting dumped right before Christmas. multiple times.
Which is objectively the cruelest, most tactical time to dump someone. It is tactical cruelty. You ruin the holiday. You ruin the end of the year. It is brutal.
Right. So this is his first pure, real Valentine's Day where he feels safe. And he brings her McDonald's to her house, which is a king move.
Oh, king move.
And Madison is sitting on the couch, just shoveling M&Ms and conversation hearts into her mouth by the handful while they talk.
The girl was chugging chocolate. I respected it so much.
Sad.
There was zero performative, oh, I will just have a side salad on a date. And she was hungry. There was candy in a bowl. She ate the candy. It was authentic.
But then we get to the most wholesome moment of the entire episode.
The prayer.
They are eating their McDonald's, and Tyler says a prayer over the food, and he specifically thanks God for the McDonald's workers.
That stopped me. I literally had to pause the TV.
Listen, Snark Squad, I want to talk directly to you for a second. Think about how often we just consume and take things for granted. We grab our drive-thru, we scroll on our phones, and we immediately complain if the fries are cold or they forgot the sweet and sour sauce.
Every day.
And here is Tyler in the middle of a highly anticipated romantic date, taking a moment to express spiritual gratitude for the invisible labor of the fast food employees who made their meal possible. It reminds us all to be so much more grounded.
It is a level of humility you simply never see on television, especially not on reality TV. Usually people are yelling at the waiters for bringing the wrong vintage of wine. Tyler is praying for their well-being. It is a stark contrast. But, and I say this with love, we do have to talk about the kiss.
Oh, no. Why do you ruin everything? I thought it was sweet.
It was sweet in theory. The sentiment was beautiful. But my snarky side has to point out the mechanics of this kiss.
Please don't.
It was slightly hard to watch. It was very lip to teeth. There was a distinct lack of, how do I say this, spatial awareness in the kissing geometry. It looked painful.
You are so analytical even about kissing. It is unproduced, raw affection. It doesn't need to look like a choreographed Ryan Gosling movie rain kiss.
I mean...
It is real, and they are so happy. And Tyler's actually out here thriving in his career, too. Did you catch the shout-out that he is recording music at Post Malone's Electric Feel Studios in Nashville?
I did. He is out here making major industry moves.
Yeah.
A DJ, a romantic, a polite gentleman. Tyler is winning at life.
He really is. Okay, let us transition to our next new cast member, because her story is equally as compelling.
Emma?
Emma, the voice acting queen.
Emma is fascinating.
Yeah.
22 years old from Utah, and she is Mormon. And she lives on a campus specifically designed for neurodivergent adults doing custodial work.
I love that this campus exists. It is a community where she isn't the odd one out.
Yeah.
She loves love. She writes extensive fan fiction. She loves Jack and Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas. But she has this tragic backstory that we really need to unpack because it explains so much of her current anxiety around dating.
The middle school trauma.
Middle school is a battlefield for everyone, but for Emma, it was devastating. She got dumped in front of the whole class.
Yeah.
The guy literally stood up and announced he didn't like her that way for everyone to hear.
Okay, this is where my snark drops and I just get mad. Kids are sociopaths.
They are.
Doing that publicly is a specific kind of evil that changes your brain chemistry forever. It instantly gave me flashbacks to my own middle school trauma, the Lolita Hamilton effect.
Oh my gosh, wait, I forgot about this. Tell the Snark Squad about the Lolita Hamilton effect.
Let's listen. 6th grade. There was a girl named Lolita Hamilton. I walked her to school every single day, out of my way, carrying her stuff. But we were basically married.
Stop.
And one day, in the middle of science class, in front of everyone, she stands up and says, "You think I like you because you walk me to school? I do not need you to walk me to school." Boom, crushed, destroyed.
Oh my God.
It turns you cold, it makes you put up walls, and you carry that intense fear of public rejection into your 20s. So when Emma's talking about being terrified that she likes guys more than they like her, I felt the mechanics of that anxiety in my soul.
It is a universal fear, but it is amplified significantly by her neurodivergence, where social cues are already harder to parse.
Exactly.
And then her mom gives this incredibly raw interview. Her mom admits that when Emma was younger, she used to actively shush her in public. She was so worried about appearing normal to society that she tried to stifle Emma's vibrant personality.
That is a very tough pill to swallow as a parent on national television. To look at the camera and admit you were wrong, that you damaged your child's confidence.
But she did. And we have to talk about masking here.
Let's do it.
Masking for a neurodivergent person is like holding a giant beach ball underwater. You can do it for a while, and the surface of the water looks perfectly calm to everyone else, but the amount of sheer, exhausting physical and mental energy it takes to keep that ball hidden is devastating.
Wow, that's a great analogy.
When her mom finally realized she needed to let go of the societal pressure and let Emma stop hiding the ball, that is when we saw Emma truly shine. It made me so emotional because how many parents never reach that point of acceptance?
Exactly. The relief of not having to hold the beach ball underwater anymore is profound. So Emma goes on a date with Austin. And let us break this date down because it was a total roller coaster of social dynamics.
They go to this beautiful snowy lodge and they build a snowman. And Austin is struggling.
He is.
He cannot find his footing in the snow. He is slipping around.
But he pushes through. They build a very solid snowman. And then they sit down inside and they bond over their shared love of voice acting.
Oh, here we go.
And this is where the dynamic shifts wildly. Austin shows off his impressions. He makes YouTube videos. He does a voice. Emma laughs politely. It's fine.
But then Emma steps up to the plate and she unleashes a flawless, spectacular, Oscar-worthy Donald Duck impression.
She watched him. Absolutely watched him. It wasn't even close. Austin's impression was amateur hour, and Emma came in like a seasoned professional straight from Disneyland.
And the craziest part, Austin barely laughs. He just kind of sits there.
This is where I have to heavily criticize Austin, sir. She politely chuckled at your mediocre voice acting. When she drops a masterclass Donald Duck on your head, the least you can do is give her a standing ovation. The audacity to just sit there with a straight blank face.
Wait. I am going to push back on you hard right now.
Bring it.
Let us be fair to Austin. He is also on the spectrum. His flat effect might not be him being rude. It might literally be sensory overload. He is on a blind date, on camera, with a girl doing a very loud, sudden noise. Or it could be an inability to process the required social cues in that high-pressure moment. We cannot judge his reaction by neurotypical dating standards.
Okay, that is a very fair analytical point. I am judging him through a Bravo lens, and I need to recalibrate. The sensory overload is a real factor.
Thank you.
But you have to admit, it made the energy instantly awkward.
It did. The date ends so abruptly. Emma says she is looking for someone where the conversation never ends, and immediately after she says that, they fall into an excruciatingly awkward silence.
The irony was thick. The silence was deafening. But honestly, awkward silences happen to everyone. Doesn't mean it is doomed, but it was definitely not the seamless fairy tale frequency she was hoping for.
I really want Emma to find her fellow Mormon match who will appreciate her voices.
Me too.
Okay, we need to check in on James.
James, our seasoned veteran, the king of the castle.
James finally found love. After 4 seasons of searching, he is with Shelley, who is from Southampton, England. They are literally looking to buy a house together.
But before we get to the romance, we have to talk about the real stars of James's segments.
His parents.
His parents.
Yeah.
The dynamic between James and his parents is high-tier comedy.
It is hilarious. James is absolutely furious about his father's no hats in the house rule. He is pacing the kitchen. He is ranting about it.
Yeah.
And he vows that when he moves out into his own house, he is going to adopt his father's exact strict rules.
The psychology of that is so fascinating. He hates the rule. It infuriates him. But he respects the authority and structure of the rule so much that he plans to inflict it upon his own future household.
I know.
It is brilliant. But can we also address the cinematography choices in James's scenes?
Oh my God, the editing.
Why were there so many camera shots of James's bare feet? I mean, it just kept panning down.
Yeah.
He got them dogs out, just fully gripping the carpet. I was like, Netflix, please. Who is the foot fetishist in the editing bay? We do not need a tight zoom on the toes.
You are so bad. But it is true. It was a very specific choice.
Very specific.
But back to the love story. What I love here is that James is making compromises. He and Shelley agreed on no pets or children, which, honestly, knowing your deal breakers and saying them out loud is huge.
It is the most adult thing you can do.
Yeah.
Decide what you do not want, establish the boundaries of the life you want to build, and find someone who agrees.
Yes.
Which is the perfect segue to our next cast member, because Connor is dealing with the exact same thing, the art of the boundary.
Connor and the demigoddess Georgie.
Yes. But it is not all smooth sailing in London. Connor is dealing with this push and pull, hot and cold dynamic with her. and it is confusing him deeply.
Let's explain why this is so damaging.
Please do.
Hot and cold behavior is manipulative, whether the person intends it to be or not. It makes you feel crazy. Your cortisol spikes, your attachment system goes into overdrive. And for someone on the spectrum who relies heavily on clear, direct communication and predictable patterns, it is absolute torture.
So what does he do? Instead of spiraling, he confides in his mom. And his mom is the MVP of the episode.
Unbelievable emotional coaching here.
She doesn't just give him advice, she role-plays with him. She sits down at the table, acts as Georgie, and has Connor literally practice setting a boundary and asking for clarification on her behavior.
Snark Squad, if you are sitting in your car right now or doing the dishes and you freeze up when someone is hot and cold with you, listen to what Connor does here. This is a masterclass.
Absolutely.
Step 1, he regulates his nervous system by practicing in a safe space. Step 2, he completely removes the toxic Bravo-style communication we are so used to seeing.
Exactly. On a Bravo show, if someone is acting hot and cold, the other person throws a wine glass, talks behind their back to 3 different cast members, leaks a story to a blog, and then ambushes them at a dinner party in front of cameras.
It's awful.
It is performative dysregulation.
But Connor, he practices. He flies to London. And then he perfectly, politely, and directly expresses his feelings to Georgie. He says, "When you do X, it makes me feel Y. Can you clarify where we stand? It is the healthiest communication I have ever seen on television."
It really is. And it seems to be working because he gets his answer. They are meeting her granddad. And Connor's out here doing political work, advocating for autism license plates in Georgia.
I love that.
The man has layers. He is building a full, boundary-driven life.
He does. And finally, before we hit our segments, a quick newbie shout out to Dylan from LA. We haven't seen a lot of him yet, but his favorite love story is Shrek.
And not just Shrek generally.
No.
His favorite romantic moment is specifically when Shrek and Fiona catch a frog and a snake, physically blow them up like balloons, and give them to each other.
Which is honestly so sweet and playful. It sets the exact tone for who he is. I cannot wait to see more of him. Okay, that is a massive recap. Let's move into our final thoughts. Segment 1, purest moment.
Okay, what melted our hearts the most this week?
I am pitching Logan. And I am not backing down. The moment in the suit store, when he looks at the stranger in the blue velvet suit and says, "I want to be like that guy," it dismantled every trope of toxic masculinity we see on TV.
It is a strong contender, but I'm going to fight you on this. My pitch for the purest moment goes to Tyler. The McDonald's prayer.
Oh, that was so good too. But Logan's was about self-discovery.
Tyler's was about global empathy. Thank you, God, for the people at McDonald's. In a world that is increasingly self-centered, to pause your own highly anticipated romantic date to express spiritual gratitude for the invisible labor of fast food workers is something you literally never see.
I know.
It is radical gratitude. It wins for me.
Okay, I hear you, but I am holding my ground. Logan's pure appreciation for another man's style without an ounce of ego is the blueprint for how men should interact. We're going to have to agree to disagree on this one. Tyler gets the empathy award, Logan gets the purity award.
Fair enough. Moving to segment 2, love lessons. Because we can actually learn real-world applications from this show.
Lesson 1 has to be communication. Straight from Connor's playbook. Do not internalize hot and cold behavior. Do not post cryptic Instagram quotes. Just ask them for direct clarification.
Lesson 2 is grace in rejection. Logan taught us this. Rejection is not a reflection of your worth. Celebrate the experience of connection, even if the outcome isn't marriage.
And lesson 3 is knowing your deal breakers, like James and Shelley. Establish your non-negotiables early. Okay, segment 3, who we are rooting for.
I mean, we are all going to agree on this. Logan is the star of the season.
Unanimously. We are a Logan Stan account now. I am rooting for him to find someone who loves trains with faces.
Emma is a close second for me. The vulnerability she showed holding that beach ball underwater for so long, I want her to win.
Yes, and special shout out to Neith, Logan's sister. The ultimate sibling goal. Which brings us to our final segment. Segment 4, real love vs. reality TV love.
The contrast.
Think about Married at First Sight or Perfect Match. Every single person on those shows is hyper aware of the cameras. They're calculating their screen time. But on Love on the Spectrum, you are watching people navigate the universal, innocent, primal desire for human connection. They just want someone to hold their hand.
But let me push back for a second.
Okay.
Because I am the cynical one. Is it possible that even this show is starting to produce moments for the camera? Are the producers stepping in more to craft storylines?
That is a tough question. I think the producers definitely set up the environments. They picked the locations. They prompt the questions, like asking Logan about Tifa on camera.
Right.
But I think the reactions are completely immune to the phoniness. You cannot script Logan saying, I'm opening the door, Fenno. Their brains process the world so authentically that it cuts right through any produced setup.
I think you're right. The structure might be produced, but the emotional core remains entirely authentic. It is the one reality show that still has a soul.
It really does. And with that, we have to wrap up this incredible Wednesday wind down.
We need to refill our wine glasses, honestly.
We do. The emotional vibes are high. The wine night ambiance is perfect. My faith in humanity has been temporarily restored.
At least until we recap our next Bravo show and it all goes down the drain again.
True. But for now, we want to hear from you, the Snark Squad. Hop into our DMs. Do you believe in soulmates? Tell us your theory. What is your favorite love story of all time? And babes, did this show make you emotional too? Because we were crying into our pumpkin scones.
Please rate, review, and subscribe. Send your submissions for patient chaos stories. And send this to your softest bestie.
Thank you so much, Snark Squad, for joining us. We love you guys so much. But before we go, I want to leave you with this final thought.
Lay it on them.
Society forces us to hit certain dating milestones by a certain age. First kiss by 15, relationship by 18, married by 30. It makes us exhausted, and it makes us cynical by the time we hit our mid-20s. But looking at Logan, who experienced the sheer unadulterated thrill of a first kiss at age 25, did our rush to grow up and hit those milestones actually rob us of that level of profound, magical appreciation for romance?
Stay shady.
Stay iconic, and we'll see you on the Snark side.